We're gonna get started. So, good morning, everybody. Today is July 13th. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. We are now starting the week off. A lot of us starting strong with new offers and new deals coming in. This month, actually, for July, I think we're probably closing around, honestly, 6 or 7 deals, which is really good. I'm happy for that. We have a few coming in for August already, and I think we also have one coming in September already. I'm really happy. You guys have been producing more lately, and I've been seeing you guys just pushing and pushing. So, in light of that, I want to talk about referrals today and how important referrals are. Most of the time, agents don't ask for them, and it's funny because why not? It's good business. It's free business. More than half, on average, about 40 to 50% of new business is referral business, right? And that's free. You just ask for it. But you'd be surprised how many times people just don't ask for the business, ask for the sale. Hey, do you want to make an offer on this house? Or do you want to do this? Do you not want to do this? Can you refer me this? And just by asking for what you want is going to get you what you want. If you don't ask, people don't know, so they're never going to give it to you, right? So really the important part of referrals is just ask for them. And I know the reasons why is one, we either don't have time or we just don't know how to ask. We don't know when to ask, and we don't want to appear too salesy, right? We don't ever want to be that, oh, well, if you know anybody, I don't want to just sound salesy. I just want to be a good person. But in the sense, this is your business and you have to treat it like your business. If you're not getting new customers, if you're not asking for the sale, if you're not asking for those referrals, you're never going to create more business for yourself. And otherwise, you're going to have to go pay for leads, pay for those Zillow leads, pay for, other things, host other stuff that you don't necessarily have to. If you have clients now, you have people that like you have friends, you have family, just ask for that. Hey, this is what I do. This is my passion. And if I can provide this great service for another person that I would love to help. So really, those are the first three things of why people don't really ask for it, right? They don't know when, they don't know how, and they don't want to be too salesy. So get those out of the door, be confident, and that's my job here, is to make you guys more confident and give you everything y'all need to succeed, right? If y'all have questions, y'all have concerns, whatever you need, we're here for that. So don't be afraid to ask for the business and go get the business, because we're here to help facilitate that for you. And how to prepare to ask for those, right? Make sure you understand your clients, right? Understand what their needs are, what their wants are, because the more you understand your clients through the transaction from beginning to end, you get to talk to them. You get to know about their family, their friends, their kids sometimes. And if they're older kids, what stage in life they are, right? Are they looking to buy a house? Are their friends getting married? Or somebody going through a life change? And at that point, it's a good time to ask, hey, well, they're getting married. Have they bought a house yet? Do they need my services? And that brings me into the next point is, right, how to prepare for those people. And getting them is being confident, right? Being confident in yourself and being in a sense that you know what you do. Be confident in that you provide a good service and those clients need your service. Those people need for you to help them buy their home, because if it's not for you, they're not going to get the home. So be confident in yourself and know that you provide a great service and those people need your service. And when is a good time, right? So people always say, well, when do I ask for it? Is it at the beginning of the sale, after the sale? When should I be going through it? Anytime a client is happy, right? When people are happy, they want to do good and they want to give back to you. So a good way to gauge that is when they say thank you. Hey, you went through a long day of showings, or we finally put the house under contract and they're just grateful. Thank you so much. Okay, so they're in a happy mood. So now that they've said thank you, now they're wanting to give back or do something. So when they say thank you, we go, okay, well, now that I've provided a great service, or we've got the house under contract and everything's going well. Do you by chance know somebody that I can benefit or I can help and make happy as well, right? Provide that service, give them that level of service that they need, and make it seem that those people that they know need your services. And yeah, so we'll move on from there. So fear of referrals, right? Don't be afraid to ask. Know what you have part and know exactly. It takes about 9 to 10 asks, right? At first, everybody's afraid to go and do it, but the more you do it, the more it gets easier, and the more you'll just play with it and make it fun, right? Make it seem like, oh, we just sold the house, and they're moving in. Well, hey, do you know anybody who you would want as your neighbor? And make it fun. Hey, imagine if your best friend was your neighbor. Do they need to buy a house, or does somebody that you would love to have as your neighbor? And just kind of make it fun from there. Also, magic words. Don't make it too salesy. Don't make it just blunt. But also don't make it fearful, right? Don't say, oh, maybe, or could you, or is there any, like, I don't want to waste your time. But be confident. Say, hey, is there anybody you wouldn't mind introducing me to? And keep it as an introduction. So if they can actually introduce you via email, a phone call, a text message, something that allows them to bring you into the conversation versus you having to do a cold call and say, oh, well, so-and-so referred me to you. Ask for a warm introduction. Ask for them to put you in an email. Because when you have a warm introduction, it puts just that other person at ease and keeps them calm and less on the defensive end of, oh, this guy's just trying to sell me on buying a house or selling a house. Wow, so-and-so really came with high recommendation because they actually warmly brought me in and warmly introduced me to those people. And then, so really just going through your sphere of influence, right? Who are my people that I want to ask first? One is current clients, right? The first people that are going through the deal, that are experiencing your level of service and making sure that your level of service is so high that all they want to do is refer you. Because Anna, Leslie, Sherry, she just did such a great job for me. I need my friends to use her or him or James or Michael or anybody who is on our team, right? You just provided such a good service for us that my friends need your service. And then from there, we'll talk about friends and family, people that like you. People that like you want to refer you. So if they like you and you can keep those referrals moving, that's always the best way as well. People who've lost touch with, right? People you haven't talked to in 6 months to a year. Just strike up a conversation, kind of like what we talked about in the last video. Just strike up a conversation, ask how they're doing, what they're doing, especially in times of COVID. Make a couple jokes. I'm losing my mind here. And then it rolls into, how's work been? How's everything been? And then this is what I do. Real estate's still hot right now. It's amazing. We heard it last Thursday from Manny, saying that investors are still purchasing tons and tons of mortgages because the market is doing very well despite what the media is telling us. So putting that in people's minds, touching base with people that you haven't talked to in a while, because people right now just want to have a conversation and they just want to talk. Moving from there.
Have you talked about engaged clients?
Engaged clients. I did not talk about engaged clients. So engaged clients. So there's a small statistic saying that only 20% of past clients actually refer you business, but 98% of engaged clients refer you business. And what an engaged client is somebody that always thinks of you when they think of real estate, or somebody that knows what you do and keep you on top of mind. So what that means is, you have a best friend, they know what you do, and anytime somebody mentions real estate, they go, okay, I have a friend, or somebody that you talk to regularly or touch base with. And it's kind of keeping that focus on their brain that, hey, anytime I think of real estate, I think of Alan, or I think of Leslie, I think of Sherry. People that you deal with on the constant, that you help support, your vendors, your other people that you want also to succeed, and they're going to be helping you to succeed as well. And then moving from there, social media, of course, guys, at least once a week, I would encourage you guys just to post something real estate wise, whether it's the ask for the referral, hey, I am in real estate. If you know any friends and family, please let me know. Or just something, 5 tips to do to your house over the summer, anything. It could be market rate industry stuff, any content you can find at least just once a week, maybe even twice a week. Just so that people will see little by little that, hey, oh, she's in real estate, he's in real estate. Anytime I need something, a question, whatever, I'm going to go to them. right? Because I see them constantly, at least once a week, once or twice a week in my feed doing something. And then the last thing, which is also very, very, very important, is sending other people referrals. If you refer more people, those same people are going to want to refer you back. I don't know how many times that I've referred lenders, I've referred contractors, AC people, anybody that I know that I can plug in those problems for people, they send me deals back. So I sent one of my past clients, he's finally wanting to build a new construction home, big property. I sent him to one of my lenders that I've used in the past, said, hey, can you do this? He said, absolutely, I can do that. And from there, 2 days later, I got a $1.7 million commercial listing from that lender because I referred him business. I've worked with him in the past. And now lately, probably the past 2 weeks, we've been sending people back and forth to each other. I know I've sent him probably 4 more new construction deals plus another couple houses. And he sent me another commercial deal and probably 2 other clients who were looking to get pre-qualified. So refer. If you want referrals, you have to refer, right? Because people love to reciprocate and it's super, super good. Also, good times to ask for the referral again is one at the listing appointment, right? When we're all done, I know we're kind of nervous. We're getting the contract sold or signed, and towards the end of the thing. So really, this is my goal, seller. My goal is to, one, sell your house for the highest possible amount I can at the quickest possible time. The second is to grow my business and to provide my services for as many people as I can. And at that time, hey, do you know anybody that need my services? Is there, maybe could you write maybe 5 names down of people that you could introduce me to that would also benefit from my services? And ask it for those referrals at that time. Don't wait until much later, because you're trying to get the business then. You're getting the business of the listing, and then you're also trying to find future business for later on down the line. It really, really is important, and people at that time, they want to help, right? You're helping them, so they want to help you back. You're putting their house on the market and trying to achieve their goals so that they can then help you achieve your goals. And then again, at the same time, you just sold a home. For the listing side, you know, how are you with my services? Were you happy? Obviously, don't ask a disgruntled client that's not happy with what happened. Whatever the case, not everybody's going to be happy at the end of the sale. So maybe don't ask those people, right? Because they're just going to say no, and they're going to maybe they're going to think, oh, I'm never going to refer you, or whatever the case. So only do it to the people that are happy and are grateful and want to continue that and show that level of service that you provided and that they want to pass on to their friends and family. Again, during the transaction, always ask for it, right? This is my business. I run on referrals, and you know, if is there anything I can do for those services? It's just really, really, really important, because you're not having to pay for it unless you're offering, which is another idea, is, hey, if you refer me, I'll give you a referral fee, right? If I close the deal, I'll kick you back. I think TAR regulates that to a $50 limit, non-cash, but nobody's really monitoring that, guys. If you want to say, hey, I just gave this guy $200 because he's my friend, or I just loaned him $200, whatever the case may be, right? There's workarounds for everything, but give them a referral fee on a close. Hey, for every deal that I close, I'm going to kick you back X amount, right? It just depends. You don't have to tell them exactly how much it is unless they ask, but just say, hey, I'm offering a referral fee if I close any deals that you refer to me. And that's always a great way to do that. Hosting parties, hosting like past clients at your house. I know right now with COVID, it's a little hard, but invite maybe 10 of your past clients and tell them to bring 1 friend or 2 friends and host a little thing, a little gathering, a referral party in a sense, or set up a credit at Starbucks. I know I've seen this quite a bit lately as well. People go and they'll buy a $200 gift card to Starbucks and just post a QR code on their Facebook and say, this is for client appreciation, or send it to all your past clients and say, hey, from this time to this time, go to Starbucks, you'll get a free cup on me. right? And just send everybody that QR code or that barcode, and they can go and scan it at the Starbucks and they can do it. You don't have to meet with them. You don't have to see them. You don't have to give them a physical card. It's something that you can do remotely, and just a quick appreciation. And then in that message that you send with the QR code, basically just ask for a referral. Hey, I really appreciated working with you. Is there anybody else that you feel that could use my services and I can satisfy the way I satisfied you, right? Just easy, quick ways. And there's tons of ideas online, guys. I really, really advise you and encourage you to look online as to what kind of advertising, what kind of referral stuff, lead gen, whatever you can to further your business, because that's what's going to keep us successful and keep us motivated and keep us moving. Really, and that's kind of it for referrals for me. Just really want to highlight on the importance of things, and really now kind of open things up for questions and see what have y'all done, if y'all have done any, and when do y'all usually ask for those things. Let me, unmute y'all. Anybody? No? Okie dokie, guys. Well, does anybody have any questions about anything else, a transaction that y'all are going through? I know if y'all have any questions that may help benefit some of our other agents. Sherry, you're muted. You're muted right now, Sherry. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. I can hear.
Okay, I just got a lead for a USDA mortgage, and she have you? I'm trying to search and I keep coming up with nothing. If I just put that term in, what kind of lending is that? I mean, I didn't ask too many questions because she was like driving around looking at properties, and I was going to email her today. But what kind of, how do you qualify for that? I mean, what are the like terms to qualify for that?
So you got a USDA lead. So USDA is the United States Department of Agriculture. And so what that means is it's a loan program for more rural pieces of property, right? Outside of the city limits. And typically there's qualification standpoints of, I think they have to make less than like $80,000 a year or 70,000, something like that. They have to qualify for a certain amount because they just don't make a lot, and they have to live outside of the city. So there's like programs and grants to allow for people to do zero down. It's almost like it's in a sense like a VA, but not really. It's just another zero down payment program that is out there that's done by the Department of Agriculture. Most lenders should be able to facilitate those, but there are a handful that don't. So if you do need one, let me know. I believe MFS will do them. I believe Legacy will do them. Caliber will do them. And a few other guys that I know will do them. So they're not the hardest thing. They do take a little bit longer because you have to go through the Department of Agriculture to get everything done. But I believe there is a website. I believe if you go to like usda.gov or .org, and you type in the address, it'll show you if it is in a qualifying zone or not in a qualifying zone.
Okay, because when I put in the search just with those terms, nothing comes up.
Like on MLS?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of the times, most agents don't even understand and don't put USDA because they just don't know. So look for the house that is more kind of rural, or go on the USDA website, and it will show you more or less where, like if you go to San Antonio, and it'll show you kind of where those zones are that you can, and then look for houses in those zones.
Okay. Then that's why I'm not finding anything, because most agents won't put
a lot of agents just don't know. You know, the people can only put down what they know, and if they don't know, then they just don't know.
Okay. So. Well, I would think if I was doing a listing, I would check to see if it was qualified for that.
You would think so, but most people just do the bare minimum and just pop it on there and just wait to see what happens, because there's a lot of buyers that don't need to go USDA either. So why sometimes they just don't feel like they need to bother with it. You know, if I can get an FHA or a VA or conventional right off the bat, then I don't need to deal with USDA or deal with anything else. you know.
Yeah. Maybe I should ask her why she why she chose USDA and not FHA.
More than likely it's because she just doesn't either want to put a whole lot of cash down, or they can't
Right.
put a whole lot of cash down, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the zero, right? It's 0 down.
Yeah, 0 down.
So she's probably not a vet, so she can't do VA. So
That's a good question to ask. I mean, you can ask
yeah.
and see if she is. If she's not, then,
Yeah. So I need to do a more in-depth like interview questions.
Yeah, just exactly. And then
Because
also,
if the people are calling and they're on the road and they're just off of a lead sign, I only ask the bare minimum and then go back and do a more detailed kind of question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Anybody else? How's everybody else doing? Leslie, everything's okay? I know you just said you got your house put under contract yesterday.
Yes, so today I'm going to call to get set up an inspection for them, and also the foundation inspection.
Okay.
So we get
And why do we feel like there's foundation movement?
Yes. No, there is.
Okay.
There is, and she's aware of it, and she still wants to go forward with the purchase of the home. So the owners are going to repair it, which is fine, but we still want to get a second opinion just to make sure that they're repairing it the way it should be repaired.
Correct. Okay, cool. And then also, guys, so with this deal with Leslie, she brought up a good point in her negotiations, that when they were making the offer, the sellers told them, hey, this isn't going to go FHA. They didn't market it as FHA or VA because they were afraid that the foundation wasn't going to allow them to qualify. But if they're going to fix the problem, then they can open up to those FHA and VA. So Leslie ended up submitting the offer anyway, with the contingency that they fix it. And then now that it's getting fixed, the lender was like, yeah, that's great. That's perfectly fine. We can fund it. Once it gets done, it still qualifies as FHA. So just because you don't see those terms on MLS, don't be afraid to make an offer, right? Hey, if we can get it fixed, if y'all will pay to get it fixed, we can get this house sold. So just because it doesn't show that they're asking for that doesn't mean that that's off the table for your clients. Does that make sense, guys? Cool. Thank you, Leslie.
Sure.
Mr. James, I think Mr. James is en route and just kind of doing remote. And then Marta, are you by chance able to give us a little update of how things are going with you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Things are well. I'm still working on that one client that wants to potentially sell and buy. They're just a little slow, so I'm going to meet with them tonight, and then we're going to get a better idea of what they want. Great. And just go from there.
Great. Do you have any concerns or questions of anything that you're kind of worried about?
I'm not super worried. It's just they don't have a huge budget for the area they're looking for. So with their criteria, I mean, we're just going to see what we find when when they're ready. But as far as like the smoothest way to sell and buy back to back, I've done it to where we do a same day close, which is kind of stressful. I mean, I know there's the lease back option. I guess that's where my only question was, like, what's the smoothest way to, they have two littles. So I'm just trying to keep that in mind.
Yeah. So really the best way to go about those would be a small lease back, maybe just a 2 to 3 day lease back, because if you're doing a same day close, technically they have to be out, right? They're moving, they're doing everything in one day. And for you to provide that service and negotiate an extra maybe 2 to 3 days for them to leisurely move their stuff is an amazing benefit for your client, because that level of stress is going to be taken off of them, and they're just going to love that you've done that for them. And for the selling side, that's the best way, because if you're trying to do that same day close, it's just more hectic. It's just really, really hectic.
Yeah, I did that to myself, and it was super stressful.
Yeah, just negotiate. Try to negotiate at least maybe 2 days at the very minimum. That way, you know, if they need to take a couple trips, it's not horrible. And if they can get out in a day, then that's perfectly fine too. But allowing for that ease, everybody understands the problem that's going on. You know, people move like that every day. So we just need to make sure everybody is aware and those stages are set, instead of waiting to the very, very end and then saying, oh, Mr. Seller, you know, or buyer, hey, we're going to need to be here for an extra 2 days. When those buyers already scheduled their movers for that day. So we just want to make sure that those things are set pretty upfront, maybe even during the option period or something like that. So before they start setting movers and dates.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and then again, for the buyer or the sellers that are going to become buyers, set that expectation. I don't know if you've already told them that, hey, for your price point, that area is going to be really, really tough. Are you open to other areas, and if so, what are those areas? Because I don't want.
Yeah, we haven't. I've sent them some potential properties, and this was just in conversation back and forth. So I haven't had a sit down with them, which is really what I want. But they, you know, what I was sending was a little too high. So I was kind of already setting an expectation for what they want, the criteria they gave me. They're going to have to pay a little bit more, especially if they want a casita in the back, you know, for their in-laws.
Hey, are they, do they have a budget to maybe build one? Because I know Sherry just started a new construction company. Do y'all do any casita type stuff?
Yes, Rudy has been doing like tiny homes and casitas for several of his clients. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll definitely keep that in mind, because that's definitely, I think, where we might end up is just finding a home that has the potential to build on.
Yeah, I have a client right now. That's what they were trying to do, like build a like maybe a detached garage. They were gonna
Right.
with that, and we went through several scenarios. And the area they wanted was in New Braunfels, and we looked and looked and looked, and it was just out of their budget. So we ended up buying them an acre of land in Fisher, and we're gonna build that's the multi-generational home for them.
Okay, awesome. Well, I have been looking at like the bigger garages that can be converted, but I guess my question too would be, like, if that happened, if a garage was converted, do they have to get like a permit to add that out onto like square footage and things like that?
They will definitely need permits, and then also HOAs. So worry about your HOAs.
Yeah.
If you do purchase a house in an HOA, make sure that you get bylaws and make sure that it is okay to have additional dwellings on that piece of property.
Yeah,
Okay.
the deed restrictions and the HOAs were the biggest obstacles for us.
Okay. Okay, definitely. I'll keep that in mind. They're all the ones we've looked at aren't in HOAs, so.
Okay, good.
But I do have to look at the deed restrictions as well. Okay, thank you. I'll certainly keep all those things in mind.
Cool. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, then that was a good little chat. If anybody doesn't have any other questions, I will be checking in with you all a little bit later today individually. And I wish you guys the very best. And if y'all need me, please give me a call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.